Hundreds of millions spent on logos and stores, yet same-store sales continue to lag. Here's the situation with Burger King. The company invested approximately $400 million in a major comeback effort, which included new branding, an updated restaurant image, and a marketing push aimed at presenting a sharper image compared to competitors like McDonald's and Wendy's. On paper, this strategy made sense. Modernize the brand, remind customers that Burger King still exists, and increase traffic to the locations. However, there is an uncomfortable truth that many companies hesitate to acknowledge. While branding can attract attention, it can't ensure customers will return repeatedly if the day-to-day experience isn't improved. In this discussion, we will examine why Burger King's significant rebranding effort did not result in an immediate sales boost. We will break this down into 3 parts. Brand problems. Why Burger King needed such a noticeable reset. Media versus operations. Why flashy advertisements don't resolve issues with slow service. Unit economics and franchise pushback. The real reasons growth can stagnate, even when the corporation claims we are making investments. Be sure to stick around until the end, as I will demonstrate how this exact pattern, large expenditures coupled with weak store-level economics, has led to the downfall of other chains as well. Now, let's dive in. Act 1. The brand problem nobody clearly explained. Before we assess the $400 million expenditure, we need to address one crucial question: what was actually broken? Burger King didn't just arbitrarily decide, let's make the logo retro. The underlying issue was much deeper. People remembered Burger King, but they chose not to visit. The brand had transformed into the other burger place, rather than being a must-visit destination. The stores appeared outdated, inconsistent, and at times, tired. In the fast food industry, once customers categorize you as the old option, it can be costly to change that perception. Thus, corporations typically target the visible aspects first. They introduced a new look, revamped packaging, new uniforms, fresh creative materials, better food photography, and a brand system that feels contemporary. This approach isn't foolish. It's actually the first step in a turnaround strategy, reminding the market that you are still in the game. However, this is where the issue arises. A brand refresh generates attention, but it does not ensure retention. You can get people to say, "Oh, Burger King looks nice now." However, it's essential for them to also say, "That was fast, hot, consistent, and worth coming back for." If a customer goes from a slick TikTok ad to a 15-minute wait for a cold Whopper, the brand promise collapses in that one visit. The key takeaway from Act 1 is that the brand was messy and outdated. The rebrand was a necessary step to regain consumer attention. But that was just the top of the funnel. Burger King's real problem lay further down the funnel, at the store level, which reveals the real tension. Act 2. The battle between media and operations, a fight every chain faces. Most people online only see the marketing side of these rebrands. They notice the new logo and think, nice. They see the TV spot and believe, this will help. They hear the CEO discussing reclaiming the flame and think, okay, growth is coming. However, restaurants don't survive on branding alone. They rely on throughput, ticket size, frequency, and consistency. Burger King's problem was that their media upgrade outpaced their operational improvements. Let's break that down. Imagine you see a beautiful ad. The burger looks incredible, and the price seems fair. You decide to visit your local Burger King. Now you encounter real-world friction. The store appears older than it did in the commercial. The menu board doesn't match the online imagery. The drive-thru is slow, staffing is lacking, and food quality varies from location to location. That gap between the promise and the reality is where sales go to die. This is where McDonald's and even Wendy's pull ahead. Their marketing may not always be better, but their systems are. They can run a national promotion, and 90% of their locations can actually execute it. When a chain invests hundreds of millions into the front-of-house aspects, such as branding, advertising, and appearance. However, it neglects the back-of-house, including equipment, staffing, training, speed of service, and store remodels. As a result, you get exactly what happened with Burger King, a spike in awareness, but only a modest or slow improvement in same-store sales. Customers do not judge you by your press release. They judge you by their lunch experience. The second insight is that brand serves as leverage, while operations represent delivery. If you upgrade leverage without enhancing delivery, all you've done is attract more people to an average experience. That's why the rebrand didn't lead to an immediate surge in numbers. It captured attention but didn't fully address the underlying issues. There's one more layer to this. Act 3. Unit economics and franchise pushback, the part nobody puts in the ad. Here's something the public often overlooks. Burger King doesn't own the majority of its restaurants. Like many large quick-service restaurant chains, it operates on a franchise model. This means that while headquarters can declare, "We are investing $400 million," the franchisee is usually the one who actually spends money on equipment, labor, and store renovations. Franchisees are not just casual observers. They have spreadsheets and financial projections. They ask important questions, such as, if I remodel, how much will my sales increase? How long will it take for me to recoup that investment? Is the franchisor contributing any funds, or is this entirely on me? Will your marketing strategies specifically drive traffic to my location, or will they enhance the overall brand? If the answers to these questions are not convincing, as a result, the brand may appear modern in advertisements, but the reality is that many locations still resemble those of 2012. This leads to a cycle, corporate says. We are modernizing the system. While franchisees respond, we will modernize once the numbers make sense. Customers notice the discrepancies, saying, I am not seeing much change at my local store. Investors start asking, why aren't same-store sales increasing more? This creates a feedback loop. This is why unit economics represent a significant bottleneck. If a store is already struggling with labor costs, rising food prices, and dwindling traffic due to competition, asking that store to invest in renovations or upgrades can feel like asking a runner to sprint while carrying bricks. As a consequence, revenue remains sluggish, even with a compelling brand narrative, attractive advertisements, and ample corporate funding. Ultimately, a brand turnaround is only as fast as the slowest franchisees. When there's inconsistency in the system, some locations are modernized, while others are outdated. Customers tend to judge the brand based on their most recent visit, often remembering the less appealing experience. So, was the $400 million investment a mistake? Not necessarily. Think of it this way. Burger King has essentially bought itself the opportunity to improve. A brand cannot be revitalized if it appears lifeless, so refreshing the brand was an essential first step. However, the second step involves implementing tight operations, ensuring faster service, creating a consistent customer experience, and aligning with franchises. That's where success or failure in same-store sales ultimately lies. Burger King's story serves as an excellent case study in business, illustrating a crucial principle. Marketing can spark curiosity, but only effective execution cultivates loyalty. This principle holds true on YouTube, where a compelling hook, such as a rebrand, attracts viewers, while the quality of delivery, including the in-store experience, keeps them engaged. Burger King succeeded with their hook, but they're still working on improving their delivery. What you should take away from this, especially if you run a brand or channel. Don't confuse visibility with product-market fit. A new appearance doesn't solve an unsatisfactory experience. It's essential to enhance the customer experience simultaneously with your marketing efforts. If someone visits after seeing a new advertisement, ensure that their experience is outstanding. Ensure that the goals of everyone involved in the upgrade are aligned. If those working on the front lines don't perceive a return on investment, the rollout will be slow. Consistently tell the same story across all platforms. If the advertisement claims modern, the store cannot convey a message from 2009. This alignment helps transform brand investment into real sales. If you are interested in analyzing real business strategies, not just the PR narratives, but also the financial realities, then you will enjoy the next video. We will discuss RadioShack's debt spiral, the 3 numbers that killed 7,000 stores. It follows the same theme: growth on the surface, weak economics beneath, and debt looming overhead. So, subscribe if you want more breakdowns like this. Genuine business insights, real numbers, no fluff. Be sure to watch the RadioShack video to see how poor unit economics, combined with debt, can undermine even a well-known brand. I will see you there.